Hi y'all, good morning. Well, I made a big bonehead move and I'd like to explain it to you in a short video. Yesterday's video I showed you this new device and I had talked about how cell number 12 appeared to be a runner, and one of the commenters on that video said, well, don't worry about it, it matters what happens at the bottom of the charge. And that's true. And there was no evidence, there was no indication on my spreadsheet that there should have been a problem with that cell. It looked like all the others, and it was in the middle of the pack of very similar tested cells. But about 2/3 of the way through the discharge, it was no longer the worst cell, and in the end, the cell that caused the BMS to cut off was not that cell. Like, oh, okay, well, let's charge it up and see what happens. So I started charging it up, and that cell started to run towards the top, worse and worse. The person that commented on not worrying about it asked if I had tested the cell itself. Maybe the BMS was not reporting correctly what the voltage on that cell was. And I did, on top of the bus bar. But it kept bothering me. And this morning, that cell was 100 millivolts higher than all the others, and all the others were within 6 millivolts of each other, 5 millivolts of each other. Very close, very close. So I said, well, it looks to me like I'm going to have to change this cell, because I want a pack where all the cells act together, not one acting strange. And so I wasn't changing it, but I decided I would check it out. Maybe there was a bad connection. So I checked the cell voltage on the terminal itself instead of on top of the bus bar, and it was the same. Checked it on top of the bus bars, 100 millivolts different. Turned the charger off on top of the bus bars, the same. Only while charging and measuring the bus bar was it a problem. There was evidence that there was something wrong yesterday. Cell number 11 started to act differently, right along with cell number 12 at some point. Well, I decided to see if I needed to inspect the top of the cells. And the idea I had was that maybe, this is cell number 12, and maybe I needed to use some carbon paste, inspect the top of the terminal, and maybe see if there was something wrong with the connection between the bus bar and the cell. And as I started to loosen the nuts, I turned off the charger, and I put the BMS in sleep mode. And as I started to loosen the nuts, I discovered that nut right there on the bus bar between cell 11 and 12, that nut had never been tightened. And that's what was causing all the issues. And it made me think, you know, in my career, I've always worked on building things. I'm going to talk about it someday. But in my career, I've learned that if something doesn't seem right, look closer, because something isn't right. And when evidence points to something that's a little off, don't ignore it. Don't think it's going to get better. Dig in, because you're going to find, if you dig in correctly, you're going to find what's really wrong, and finding it earlier than later is sometimes a really good thing. So I tightened it up, turned the BMS on, turned the charger on, And now, cell number 12, it just lives with all the others. This pack is running very nicely. These cells are running very nicely together. Lowest number there I see is 69, highest 72, there's 73, there's 74. So the lowest, oh, there's 76. So the lowest number I saw was 69, 3369 millivolts, and the highest is 3377 millivolts. Very, very close. So I'm going to go ahead and finish charging this up by the shunt. At full discharge, I got 260 amp hours out of this battery pack. And this is the battery pack with the worst cells. I've built the worst cell pack first, and each pack I build from now on should be better. I did not clear the shunt when I started to charge, so if you take 469 and subtract 260 from it, I have now put 209 amp hours back into this cell, and I will continue to charge it on up and see what the capacity is on the charging side. I'm not taking it all the way to the top. I'm gonna only charge this battery pack to 54 and a half volts. I'm going to take it to 54 and a half volts, and then that's going to be good enough for me. I may change that later, but for now I'm going to not take it up too high or take it down too low, and see what kind of capacity I can get out of it doing that. The cutoff voltage on an individual cell yesterday when I got to 260 amp hours was 2.7 volts. That's what the BMS is set at for its protection. And so could have gotten just a tiny bit more out of it, maybe 1 or 2 more amp hours. But all in all, not a bad deal. This battery pack is the second one I'm putting together, assembling with the cells, and it's currently top balancing. I don't have enough power supply units, darn it. This set of 16 has been all tested and is ready to be broken down, and 16 new ones brought up to start testing. In the meantime, I'm testing these 4. This one tested this morning and it's being recharged. And this is the one currently being tested with this capacity tester. So lots of battery activities going on here on the sidelines, while I am going to head back out to continue working on the solar shed. Yesterday I got the walls built, I got the roof framed, and now I'm going to go grab some stuff I've been storing in my garage for years and years, which is going to end up being the roofing material, and I'm going to go take that out and start laying it out and getting ready to put that on the roof and get it dried in, because we got rain coming on Wednesday. I need to get the thing dried in before that happens, so got a big day ahead of me, and I think I'm supposed to worm the cows today too. Big day, big day, always a big day. Appreciate y'all sticking with me. Y'all have a good day.